And about there I am. Technical difficulties already. Look at that. Hello, everybody. I hope you can hear me. My name is Kurtis from the Epic Marvel Podcast, and I have some epic collections to share with you today. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up this box that hopefully contains some of my epic collections. I got a package from Dying Breed Collectors. So we're going to open this up together, take a look what's inside, and then we're going to talk about some epic collections. Nice of you to join me. Max says he can hear and see me perfectly. That's what I want to hear. Oh, lots of my friends are here today. Phil, Pierce, Stephen. Good. Okay, let's open this up and have a look. You always have to be careful opening boxes when you have a blade because you don't want to put tears in the covers of your books. This is a big box. Lift up the cardboard a little bit as you go. So you're just getting the tape because I have no idea how these are packaged inside. So this is Dying Breed Collectors. If you go to dyingbreedcollectors.com, oh, look at this. He sent me a shirt. dyingbreedcollectors.com shirt. Excellent. Thank you very much. Let's see here. These are packaged really, really well. One of the things I really like about it is the packaging. So here is one package here in the box. Lots of packing peanuts. But you can see that he has gone to great lengths to protect these books as they go through transit. Let's get some of this tape off here. Surrounded in cardboard, wrapped in bubbles. It's like multiple Christmas presents. And then wrapped in newsprint underneath that. So there we go. What is it? Incredible Hulk Epic Collection, Crisis on Counter-Earth. Very nice. We'll take a look at that one in a little bit, but hold on. Something else in here too. Whoops. Oh no, that's just the that's just the bottom of the package. Woo. That was great. Okay, so what are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about the epic collections that came out from August to September through October this month. And we're going to talk about them kind of in order as they came out. The only one I don't have yet is Killraven. I had Killraven, but then I ordered one got one from Dying Breed Collectors, so I returned the other one. So I don't have my copy with me yet. Thought it was going to be in that box, but apparently it's coming in a separate box. So I have all of these other ones here. A nice big stack. Hold on, let me show you all of those. It's heavy. Now, what I do want to show you is that the Epic collections, we've been noticing a lack of quality, and not lack of quality, but lack of the paper quality has gotten a lot thinner. So we're getting thinner Epic collections. But if you look at this stack of books, all of the ones, every single one that has come recently has been back up to the kind of the thickness spine that we're used to. So the new Mutants one on the end here is the thinner one. And these other ones have gotten to be back to the standard size. That means we're getting that nice bulky paper all over again. And that's the stuff that we really liked when the Epic collections began. There was a period of time when they were kind of a lot thinner in paper. You could feel it, and a lot of them even we could see through some of the white spots. But now, just feeling this paper between your fingers, it feels just like it was before. So I think we're all happy about that. We're all happy. Okay. First up is New Mutants, Sudden Death. This is what we're going to talk about first. This is volume 5. You can see right there. It has a cover price of $40 US and $50 Canadian. And there we can see Warlock on the spine. It's not going to focus for me there. But yeah, let's take a look at this here. Let me just organize myself because I have a second camera so we can get some close-ups. I just need to move my huge stack over here. Let's turn on the camera. There it is. You know what? I'll make this bigger so you don't have to see me here. Now we can see that spine. Oh, there's the light. It's Warlock. Let's see here. Tragedy strikes the New Mutants. There's a big spoiler, so I don't think that we're going to talk about that. Hopefully I won't flip to an inappropriate page there. You can see the glare on this from my overhead light, because this paper, this is still the old, or the other stock that we weren't too thrilled with. It is a lot glossier. It's not full gloss, but it is a lot glossier. It catches the light a lot better, or a lot easier than the other paper. So we'll check that out. And who's printing this one? LSC Communications from Willard, Ohio, printed this. So we can see here we're collecting, this one collects New Mutants 55 all the way to New Mutants number 70. You can't see that because of the light. And the only other bonus issue we have in here is the annual New Mutants number 4. So let's just take a look. This is Louise Simonson's run, continuing. She had a long run of New Mutants. And Brett Blevins is doing the artwork here. Brett Blevins, some people like him, some people don't like him. I think he does a fine job here, especially with Terry Austin doing the inks on this one. Gives him a really nice kind of classic 80s Marvel feel. And if you are familiar with Terry Austin's art, especially through like Cloak and Dagger and such, you can see his influence in the way he draws here. Very different from the other volume later on, Curse of the Valkyries, where Blevins has a different inker and his style looks quite a bit different. There's Magneto. There is a period of X-Men here where Magneto is the headmaster, so he shows up in this book here. We're just going to flip through some of these pages so you can see. Reign's becoming not a werewolf here. Here's a Kevin Nowlan cover. He was rising in his popularity around this time here, through the 80s. And we get some Hellions. This is some really nice stuff. This is a very fun era of New Mutants, and I've only read, you know, an issue here or there because I was not collecting this when it first came out. So to be able to read this in sequence is going to be very, very special. But just look at that. Look at all that great composition in that one panel, where you can clearly see all of the characters and the action, even though they're crammed into a booth in a restaurant. Blevins is a good storyteller. Birdbrain's a weird character. I really don't know much about this one at all because I haven't read that one. But here are some issues that I have read. Follow Mutants. Let's see. Some more from Brett Blevins and Terry Austin. Just love that design. Great design. One of the things I liked about the New Mutants is that this title wasn't taken too seriously. All of the serious stuff, I mean, there were serious things that happened, but they had a lot more just fun with the book than, like, let's say X-Men, which was, you know, quite a bit more serious. Okay, let's jump quite a bit ahead here just so we can get through. We've got other books to talk about. Doesn't that look great? Looks like a lot of fun. Great color palette in this one page with all of the reds and browns. Oh, here too. Here's the cover to issue number 62. Really nice rendering. Who does this one? I'm not sure. Don't see a signature. Oh, there's a signature there. M. Anybody who signs their name with M? Oh, it looks like this. It's John Muth. He's doing the interiors on this page too. I'm not familiar with this issue at all, but it looks really nice. Nice, clean, simplistic style. Going for a little bit of some more photorealism in some of these pictures here. Nice, sexy white queen. Not bad, not bad. Ah, Wolverine makes a guest appearance here in this issue. Which one is this? With art from Bo Hampton and Joe Rubinstein. Oh, it's a second page. I'm not going to go back that far. It's a second story in this issue. Looks like the return of Blevins. And here's the cover picture here. Battling Freedom Force. Remember these guys from the pages of X Factor? Cannonball gets a new costume with a mask. More from Brett Blevins. How about you people? What's your favorite era of New Mutants? Do you like the beginning with McLeod? Do you like this middle part with Blevins, or do you like the last part with Rob Liefeld? Here's Forge. Forge is in this issue. He's a cool character. So the annual in this one is part of the Evolutionary War. So it's just one chapter in the Evolutionary War story. It looks like, oh, June Brigman penciling this. That's cool. There's always a lot of demons in New Mutants. Magic's influence there. Oh yeah, what's her name? I can't remember her name, but she's a weird character. In Spider's Lair. Okay, I think that's enough of New Mutants. Oh, you want to see what some of the bonus features are here? Let's see what we have in the way of bonus features. We have a Marvel Age article from the Fall of the Mutants. Some covers from... Oh, I see. We have a little triptych right here. These covers form a giant picture, so they've laid it out so we can see it all together. A bonus comic page from Marvel Age. Evolutionary War ads, promotional art. A pin-up from Marvel Fanfare. Boy, that looks cool. Who's that by? By Colleen Doran. That's very cool. Marvel Fanfare pin-up by Bill Sienkiewicz. That's awesome. Terry Shoemaker. Lots of Carl Potts. A lot of people don't remember Carl Potts as an artist, but he does a really good job there. Look at that. And some original art from Blevins and some previous trade collections. Okay, that's our first story. That's our first book that we're going to look at. Next, we're going to take a look at Captain America Epic Collection. It's called The Captain. This one's volume 14. This one has the higher price, $50 US. Oh, I didn't realize it went all the way up to 50 for you guys. Ours is now $56.99, $57 in Canada here, covering a period of Captain America from 1987 to 1989. this has a good chunk of Captain America plus an issue of Iron Man. If you have the old Captain trade, it doesn't have that Iron Man issue, I believe. Or maybe it does, I can't remember. One of the issues is missing. And so this is not exactly a straight up trade from the old version. If you guys watched any of the Falcon and Winter Soldier series, there's John Walker, U.S. agent from that series right there. He plays a role. Sorry, that's Captain America. This is John Walker over here. I almost made that mistake because Captain America quit being Captain America for a little while. There's Flag Smasher. Oh, no, hold on, I got that wrong. That's not Flag Smasher. Flag Smasher wears a black costume. This is, what was the U.S. agent's name before he was U.S. agent? I don't even remember. Need to read some of these. Super Patriot, that's what it is. Super Patriot, thanks. Thank you, Tracy. Or Patrick. Patrick and Tracy. Both remember those names. So Super Patriot takes over for Captain America in these issues. This is right in the middle of Mark Gruenwald's run, and he started. There's Freedom Force again. They show up kind of all over the place through the 80s. Oh, hold on. Before we get to Mark Gruenwald, I forgot to say, let's see who prints this book. We got Solid-Scope printers from Canada. And you can still see that there is a glare on this paper from my overhead ceiling light, but it's not nearly as bad as the New Mutants book because this paper isn't as glossy. So you can, it's a lot more matte than it was before. So like I was saying, this is Mark Gruenwald's run. He started off really solid and kept being solid all the way through this middle part of here, especially. In fact, I think it was just kind of the tail end when he started to trail off, but this era of Captain America is quite excellent. I love it when Captain America explores what it means to wear the stars and stripes. Now, I'm not American, so I don't have that same sort of national pride that all of you do in America. In fact, I don't even have it for Canada. We just don't outwardly show our patriotism that way, the same way as someone like Captain America would. But it's always interesting to see him struggle with his own beliefs versus what the government or what the country seems to be doing. And this is one of those times. So he gives up being Captain America, and John Walker steps in to be a different type of Captain America. Tom Morgan is doing the art. And Tom Morgan, I actually worked with him for a little bit because I used to work at a at an animation studio just as a PA. It was a job that I had for about a year. And Tom Morgan was a storyboard artist there for a little while. That was here in Vancouver. And so I got to talk with him and know him for a little bit. And when I quit my job, he gave me a nice drawing of Superman. So that was pretty cool. This cover is great. Of course, I'm sure that you all know what that cover is supposed to be mimicking. Anyone? Yeah, of course. Avengers #4. D-Man. There's a weird character for you. And Nomad. There's Nomad back there. And Falcon. That's kind of a nice little crew he's got there. Patrick says that the highlight of Gruenwald's run is this volume. Let's get that comment here. Is this volume. Now, I've heard lots of people say that they like this one, and Justice is Served is a good volume as well. But yeah, this is definitely a highlight. Okay, so Trigonosis 81 says, I heard some members had printing issues with this title. I don't remember that. My copy seems to be fine. Did anybody in there have any printing issues with your copy? Let me know. I can't remember what was said about this one. This is just great superhero action. If you just love that classic everyone kind of gets in a big fight, and you have outrageous panels like this where they're being punched backwards, and no one breaks a jaw or anything. It's just kind of fun superhero pulp. That's what we have here. You know, and there's definitely the political subtext, and well, and it's not even subtext in this volume that's going on in this here, but it keeps it light. Okay, halfway through this book, Kieran Dwyer takes over. This is the nephew of John Byrne, right? Is that what it is? With Tony DeZuniga, Tony DeZuniga on the inks. I don't think I've ever had to say his name out loud. Iron Man versus the Captain. Oh yeah, that Iron Man issue must be in that other trade. That's my receipt. Who's going to win this game of chicken right there? It's going to be Captain America. Or the Captain, sorry. It's going to be the Captain. Here, does anyone know which famous cover this cover is mimicking? Leave me a comment. I'm sure you can figure out. The Serpent Society comes back. They play a big role in Gruenwald's run here. Yeah, great fun. Stepson. Joe Cool is like stepson. John Byrne's stepson. That's what it is. That's right. He's good, though. I like his work. Dwyer as well. Al Milgram inking this one, looks like. Patrick says, I wish they put the Thor issue where Cap wields Thor's hammer in here. It was just a couple of months after the Iron Man crossover and a great Cap Thor story. Yeah, I mean, I would have loved to see that too, because that's a great moment for Captain America in this black costume that he has. So like, why not put it in there? But this is a full volume. How many pages is this? Let's see. It's you get to 500 and you hit the bonus pages. So they could have put in one more issue maybe, but guess that wasn't in their plan. Okay, here's Phil. I was waiting for someone to do this. That cover that I was talking about was Daredevil 43. It was mimicking the classic Daredevil 43. Good job, Phil. Okay, where was I? Let's just skip through here a little bit. Great cover. Look at that. Really fantastic. That's a Friends cover. Ron Friends, I think. That sure looks like him. Where's the signature? It's shining. The page is too shiny. I think that says Friends. It's a little cut off. But yep. Ron Friends. Everything is starting to go south for John Walker. Okay, shall we see what... oh, who knows what cover this one is parodying? Anybody? Are all of these covers parody covers? Okay, let's see what we have in the way of bonus features. Captain America's Partners. These are not bonus features. This is part of the last issue because it was a double-size issue, so we get a lot of extra content Back up with the red skull. Nice creepy drawing. That's really nice. Okay, more Marvel Age, of course. House ad. This is Captain America by Glenn Herdling from Marvel Age 57, as well as an article from Sholly Fish from Marvel Age Annual number 4. Fred Hembeck. A lot of people don't care for Fred Hembeck, but I actually like his stuff. It's very, very wordy sometimes, but he's usually pretty witty. So I like reading it. And some previous cover collections. Okay, that is our second book we're going to take a look at. What are we going to do next? Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange, the Vampiric verses, and volume 9. This is early 90s material with a $39.99 cover price in the US, $50 in Canada. Collecting the second part of Doctor Strange Sorcerer Supreme 14 through 33 plus Ghost Rider 12. With a Gene Colan cover. How do you like that? Gene Colan actually does a lot of the artwork in here, I believe. So the table of contents is packed because there are like these sub-stories called the Book of Vishanti all throughout this volume. And it's kind of like, you know, Tales of Asgard, how that was a backup feature in the Thor issues. Well, Doctor Strange had that here too. And then let's see who's printing this one. This one is Solasco as well. So this is very early 90s style artwork. It's not, it doesn't, it's still a little bit more in the bending in the realistic, getting away from the more stylized superhero stuff that we saw from Brett Blevins. And you get a lot more of a full bleed on some of these pages, like you get that one there, which means we're not going to get page numbers in this volume because a lot of it, there's no room for page numbers because of the bleed on the bottom. So even though we have a table of contents, it's kind of a little useless. Morbius is in this issue. Written by Roy and Dan Thomas, with Jackson Geis doing the art. He's no accredited inker, so he's doing the inks as well, and looks pretty nice. Jackson Geis is a good artist. I like his stuff. He seems to do really well inking himself as well. And those early issues of X Factor were really good, even if the content was not as great. But yeah, lots to look at. In typical fashion, Roy is pretty dialogue heavy. Lots of narration. I am so unfamiliar with this era of Doctor Strange. It's just not okay. Here, gotta talk about this cover right here. Notice how it's all red. Originally, there was a big picture of a face back here, but it was a face of a Christian singer, pop star named Amy Grant. I'm sure you've heard her song "Baby Baby." It hit #1 on the charts way back in the late 80s, early 90s. And but she got mad at the fact that her face was being associated with, you know, dark arts and all that kind of stuff, compromising her religious beliefs. So she sued Marvel, and so Marvel can't reprint her face, which is rightly so. They should have asked for permission. It's kind of short-sighted of them there. This looks kind of like Ron. Is this Ron Lim or is this still Geis? Oh yeah, Jackson Geis. He does a good vampire. Okay, I'm going to flip through ahead a little bit here. Anyone disappointed that we haven't seen this guy show up in the Doctor Strange movies? Or what was the the woman with the cow head? What was her name? I can't remember. Brother Voodoo is in this. Ever think we'll see a Brother Voodoo movie? Maybe when they've run out of all the other characters. Okay, this definitely looks different. This is not Butch Guice. So who is this? Go back to the beginning. Here it is. It's Ron Lim. Jim Valentino. Okay. Jim Valentino's pretty good, but this one just doesn't look as great as when you hold it up against Geiss's work. Bova, that's right. Phil Owens commenting again. The character I was thinking of, the woman with the cow head. Bova. Get that comment up there. Thanks. Does anyone know why Jackson Geiss sometimes goes by Jackson and sometimes by Butch? Phil says it's just a nickname. Yeah, and I think he prefers that these days. But like these older comics will always credit the original name that was printed in the comics. Oh yeah, here's a Gene Colan issue right here. I do like his artwork a lot. Got a great style, even if sometimes his faces look a little obscured like that one. But let's see who's inking him on this. Gene Colan is inking himself. You can't get more pure than this, except if you had maybe just the pencils. Here's a comment from Rudiger. It says, I don't care too much about Doctor Strange, but love that Jackson Geiss stuff. He was so great on Resurrection Men and Captain America. Yeah. Oh, let's turn that comment off. That's a cool creature. Okay, so here's one of the issues of Legends, the Book of Vishanti, Legends and Lore of the Dark Dimension. Again, still written by Roy, and this time his buddy John Mark Lofficier. And Lee Weeks is the penciler here. Lee's a good penciler. Look at all of these cosmic characters. I haven't read this, but it looks like it's kind of talking about all of the cosmic beings in the Marvel Universe. There's a lot of history here. Look at all this dialogue. That's cool. Here's a page of original art, Gene Colan, along with his inking. Dormammu. And Baron Mordo. Looks like all of the heavy hitters are here in this story for Doctor Strange. Look at that. Very cool. Some more Gene Colan original art. The Dark Wars. This story is called The Dark Wars. Dean Hazelwood is inking Jackson Geiss here. I like how they're coloring in the backgrounds here, so it's not white, but it's also not black. It gives it a very different, because they're in the dark dimension or wherever they are, so it gives you a feel that they're in a different world. But also because every page is a different color, it's like the world is always changing. I'm sure that's Steve Ditko's influence for sure. But it's great effect here. They do it well. Here's a issue number 25. This is a Ron Lim cover, and we get some. I knew he was in this book somewhere. Red Wolf. Whatever happened to Red Wolf? Is he still around? These guys, they don't use him very often. I wonder if he's just too anachronistic these days. Werewolf at the Door, with Chris Marinan doing the art, Mark McKenna as the inker. They're still doing the color pages backgrounds, even though that must just be a Doctor Strange thing. Yeah, it's all through this book. Werewolf by Night is in this one. That's great. And then they have a backup story to do with the wolf as well, the werewolves. Yes, here someone says they made a new Red Wolf. That makes sense. Make a new one to make it a little bit more appropriate for today's society. That's probably a good thing. Ghost Rider. Something's up with this logo here. It looks like they tried... I don't know if this is an original issue or if this is part of the restoration, but it looks like they've dropped a second logo over top of the logo that was already placed there. You can see it poking out underneath. Someone check your original Ghost Rider issue and see if that's a mistake or not. Oh, more about the new Red Wolf. It says he was a sheriff from Western times that got pulled into the present as got pulled into the present. He was in Occupy Avengers. Okay, I'll have to check that out. Ghost Rider crossover with Doctor Strange. Now that we have Ghost Rider Epic Collections, I'm really looking forward to the Johnny Blaze era being collected, because there's some cool stuff in here. Great double page spread. Nice cover. Okay, let's flip through this a little quicker here. Let's get to the end where we can see more original art. They had a lot of Gene Colan original art. They are oh no, this is Butch Guice original art. They intersperse it throughout rather than putting it all at the back. Oh, there's another one. Looks like Nightmare is in this one too. All of the Doctor Strange bad guys are in here. Okay, Phil says, let me get that. Phil says the Ghost Rider logo is the same on the original. So, not a mistake, or at least it was a mistake when they originally printed it. What? Thanos is in this one too? That's because this is an Infinity Gauntlet crossover. This book has half of the Infinity Gauntlet issues, and then the next volume that's coming out next year will have the other half of the Infinity Gauntlet issues. And what do we have in the way of bonus features? Since we already saw most of the original art scattered throughout the pages, we just have some cover art from some previous collections, as well as this great double-page spread by Chris Marinan from Doctor Strange Sorcerer Supreme number 32, and Tales of the Vishanti Endnotes. Well, that's cool. I'll have to dig into that. Not exactly sure what that means, but that's very neat. Return of the Vampires. Okay. Oh, you want to see the spine picture? Doctor Strange. Maybe I should move. We're already at 40 minutes. I'm going to move a little quicker through these ones. Fantastic Four, Battle of the Behemoths. This is volume 7. I like that black background on the spine there. Really emphasizes the blue. This is volume 7, like I said. No description in the top here. Usually they have a little sort of a tagline or something. Volume 7. Volume 40. Or sorry, volume 40. Volume 7. $40. $50 Canadian. Collecting just a period of Fantastic Four 105 to 125. This is the period after Kirby leaves. Kirby left like the issue, maybe 2 issues before this volume here, the end of volume 6. And so Let's see who prints this one. Solace Go again. They're busy people, busy printers. So Stanley is still doing the writing and the scripting, and this time he brings on, for this issue here, for the first couple, John Romita. And this still very much feels like a 1960s book through these issues. It doesn't quite feel like Marvel has hit the 70s yet, even though they are in the 70s. I think just because you have Stan Lee at the helm with Romita doing the art. And we also have Joe Sinnott, who's carrying over from his work with Kirby. But he helps keep the whole book look consistent, even though it goes through a couple of artist changes. Mr. Fantastic is a ball, wrapping up all that energy. There aren't a whole lot of big, memorable events or stories from this era of Fantastic Four. They kind of keep it going as usual. Oh, they get a little... This is a sort of a new logo. They've fattened out the characters a little bit, but they don't put that on the front. They have the classic logo on the front. Annihilus. We do see a lot of the bad guys return here. There's the cover that was on the back. John Buscema takes up the helm, and he's going to stay on Fantastic Four for a while now, I think. Here's a great Kirby-ish splash page, just like Kirby used to do, is cut out images from magazines or whatnot, or photographs, blend them in here. Let's see, I got a comment here I want to highlight. It says Romita looks like he's trying to look like Jack. Absolutely true. Phil says Stan insisted on Romita and Buscema to look like Kirby. With Buscema in particular, you'll find a number of panels directly swiping from Kirby. Yeah, that was not uncommon. Romita, when he first started on Spider-Man, also looked a lot like Ditko. So I think that was kind of the plan, was to have the artists mimic who came before, just so that there was a little bit of continuity of look, because they were popular. The artists were popular. But then slowly, as we move further and further away from the departure of those previous artists, their artwork becomes more and more like their own. I mean, you can already see in these issues that Buscema is looking a little bit less. I mean, there's still some Kirby-ish features there, but Kirby had really angular body proportions and such, so we're already seeing them being smoothed out, a lot more rounded. John Buscema is just great. He's got such a good style. There's my receipt again. Here's one of the famous battles between the Hulk and the Thing. Okay, everybody, this one has it all. You don't need to read any other comics after this one, because this one has it all. The Watcher. Great splash page. So we're going to get some Eternals in this volume, but not the Eternals that you think. Very cool stuff. So now we're in the 70s. That's kind of a weird pose for Doctor Doom. I think they're trying to do a Kirby there with the hand outstretched, but doesn't quite have the same flair as Kirby did when he did those kind of poses. Sorry, yeah, that was, I just flipped through that. I didn't, I skipped way past it. Great splash page again. Okay, I gotta go a little faster here. Doctor Doom, I think you can get a good glimpse of the artwork here. Agatha Harkness. What a mad world. Black Panther comes to play. Looks like he's going to jail. I read all these issues like 20 years ago, but I have very little memory of them because, like I said, I didn't find them all that memorable. So I'm going to have to revisit these soon so I can, The Secret of Gabriel, so I can take a look at, just refresh myself, remind myself what these stories are about. And I think I'd appreciate it now because 20 years ago I didn't have the same sort of appreciation for this era of Marvel as I do today. So I will be, oh, look at that. That's very Kirby-ish looking spaceship. Look at all of that. All that tech. Galactus, wonderful. This book has a ton of great stuff in it. I'm drowning. I'll never see Reed or my baby again. The Monster's Secret. Okay, this is great. What a good book that one is. Looking forward to diving into there. Okay, next up, the only Star Wars book I'm going to look at this time, because this is the only one that came out in the last few months, the original Marvel Years, Volume 5. The Search for Han Solo. This one has a $40, $50 cover price. And this book has Star Wars 74 to 88 plus Annual 3 and Star Wars Return of the Jedi number 1 to 4. Return of the Jedi number 1 was one of the earliest comics I ever had. And I think I got it from my grandmother. Oh, let's see who prints this book. So let's go again. They are the ones responsible for bringing back the quality to our Epic collections. Okay, we can see just a whole bunch of classic comics here. Got a one-page recap to get us up to speed. And who is in charge of these volumes here? We have Joe Duffy. This is her run with Ron Frenz and Tom Palmer. What a great combination there. Joe Duffy, Ron Frenz, and Tom Palmer. Joe Rosen, classic letterer. Glynis Wein in colors. Louise Jones, before she was Louise Simonson, on editing. And Jim Shooter. So this is, even if you don't like Star Wars, you gotta admit that's a pretty stellar lineup of classic Marvel Comics creators there. Ron Frenz does a good job of getting the likenesses of these characters. Too bad he actually didn't have a very long run on Star Wars. It's really a shame because, or maybe it's not a shame because you prefer him on, what year is this? 1980. 81 was when Return of the Jedi came out, so he probably moved over to Spider-Man after this. These are great. I love the color choices. They are not as bold and they don't use the same flashy colors that the superhero books do with the primary colors. They go for a much softer color palette, which gives it a very, very different feel. R2-D2 to the rescue. Great drawing of Darth Vader right there. Still Ron Friends. I want to go there. Can you imagine having to draw the Millennium Falcon over and over again? What, 83? Is that what you said? Let me go back to the beginning of that. Can't find the beginning. Yeah, let's go to this one here. This is number 77. It ends with issue 88. Is that what you're asking, Joe Cool? Oh, 83. No, the Return of the Jedi. That's what you're talking about. Yes, Return of the Jedi came out in 83. So I think Spider-Man might have been before this. I have to look at my timeline of events. Okay, so in this one, David Michelini is doing the script with Luke. Uh-oh, my second camera just stopped on me. Let me just pull that back up here. I'm using my phone as my second camera, but we're still going through Star Wars. Let's see, do we have any more comments here to talk about? Gotta get these Star Wars original Marvel years epics or omnibuses. Yeah, you should. The omnis are probably a good bet for you, but they're getting hard to find. So you're gonna have to definitely buy the epic collections. Okay, go sideways. There we go. Okay, where are we? 78. Oh, let me just get rid of. And we've also got some great David Mazzucchelli art and Al Williams in there. Yeah, let's see if we can find those guys too. Matt, remember the day when you would have to hand draw all of your stars and not just use a computer to fill in your space scenes? That's a lot of work. Same with the machines. I think these days Star Wars artists can get away with using computers a lot to render their spaceships and such, but man, some of these draftsmen back then were pretty amazing. Okay, where are the Return of the Jedi issues? Because that's, oh, Star Wars Annual. Great Uncle Sam riff right there. Look at that, Klaus Janson on art and coloring. Klaus has a very distinct style of coloring, and you can see that through his work in Daredevil as well. But he loves to use the purples. Okay, let's keep going here. Star Wars number 79. Wanted, Han Solo. Here we still have Ron Friends with Tom Palmer inking. Woo-hoo. There's a Wookiee in this issue. Phone's trying to crap out on me again. Oh, there we go. Star Wars number 80. Okay, where are those Return of the Jedi? Ah, here we go. This is great. So this is the issue I had. The first in the 4-issue limited series. I just found this to be beautiful, beautiful stuff. Archie Goodwin and Al Williamson did this adaptation, and they are the team that did the Star Wars newspaper comic strip, and they did a lot of work together over the years. But they did this specifically for the comic, so it's not an adaptation of the newspaper comic strip. The comic strip had ended by this point. But look at this. He just does a remarkable job with his renderings of these characters. Very, very intricate artist. If you're a fan of Al Williams, I definitely recommend checking out his comic strip that he did with Archie Williams called Secret Agent Corrigan. Really beautiful stuff there. I know a lot of people They're like the Epic collections are too clean, too crisp, or whatever. But having stared at the original issue of this issue for so long, I can safely say that the Epic collection is way better because you can see so much better the detail that he puts into all of his artwork. Because when you transfer it to newsprint and you get the ink bleeding in the newsprint, it muddies up a lot of this. And so you get a way clearer image. Great comment from Johnny here. You can do stars by splattering white gouache with a toothbrush too. Yes, I have done that before. It's a lot of fun. He also says Al Williamson maybe rivals Wally Wood as the greatest sci-fi artist ever. His work is so beautiful. Wow, that's high praise, trying to compare him to Wally Wood, but you could be right. Look at that Rancor. Amazing stuff. If you love all of this old Star Wars, then these Marvel Years epics are definitely good for you to pick up. Really, really nice. Okay, nice splash page with the Millennium Falcon. There's Yoda. A great pinup. Oh, these are all pinups. Okay, let's see what other pinups we have here. Boba Fett. I don't see any artist credits here. This one says, what does that say? Rick J. something or other. Who is it? Anybody? Because he also does this one. Becton. Is that Paul Becton, I think? Okay. Let's keep going past the Jedi stuff. Oh, man, each one of these issues has lots of pinups. Very cool. Look at that. Look at this de-headed stormtroopers. They're just helmeted. Hey, that's a familiar looking picture. Doesn't Dark Horse use that pose? One of their books. Okay, back to Ron Friends. With Palmer and Mandrake doing finishes. So Ron Friends is just doing breakdowns now. Which is actually fairly typical of Ron Friends. He does often just do the breakdowns and leaves the finishing to the other artists, but that doesn't look like Palmer. This must be Mandrake, because that definitely does not look like Palmer's inking style. And then this one, many hands finished this book. That's always a clue that they were kind of rushing. They had to get a bunch of different inkers to help out with this. Oops, sorry. Got to get my camera on straight. Bob McLeod from New Mutants doing the art of this one with Linda Grant. There's a name you don't hear very often. I think the only other Linda Grant story I really know is, didn't she do a story in a backup story in X-Men in the late 60s, I think. Was that Linda Grant? There's David Mazzucchelli. And Roy Richardson as the writer. Tom Palmer still doing inks. This is like a who's who of Marvel in the early 80s. Okay, let's keep on going here. Flip to the end. Let's see what we have in the way of bonus features. There's a nice panel. Or double page, double spread. There you go. Look at that. We have a Marvel Age cover. Looks like Friends. Oh, yep. With some articles, Marvel Age articles about Star Wars. Looks like Return of the Jedi is definitely the focus. A bunch of different art, cover art by Tom Palmer. And then some original art from Friends. There's another Tom Palmer cover. And previous collections covers. I have this. I have that one right there. And then an article says, Introduction from Warwick Davis. There you go. And this is the next Star Wars volume to come as Legacy number 4. I don't think that I'm not sure that that's accurate anymore. I can't remember. The schedule seems to be changing so often. Okay, 2 more to go. I'm going to do Incredible Hulk, Crisis on Counter-Earth, Steve Englehart, Roy Thomas, Jerry Conway, and Herb Trimpe. Is it a coincidence? Remember how when these were first announced, there were like 4 books that had Adam Warlock featured on the cover, and they're all coming out right around now. And then we also get the announcement of who is playing Adam Warlock in the upcoming Guardians 3 movie all around the same time. Is that a coincidence? I don't know. What's a Hulk to do when he smashes his way through all of Earth's heroes? Smash another Earth. Mark Scholl says, do you think they might do Spider-Ham epics someday? Well, we're getting complete collections, so I'm pretty sure that we will not have Spider-Ham epic collections anytime soon. Okay, who's printing this one? Sols go again. Okay, sorry, let's look at the back cover again. So we have 6 here. This one, it was originally solicited at the lower price, but they bumped it up. So if you pre-ordered this, hopefully you got it at the lower price. $45. So this one didn't bump up to 50, did it? And then 56.25 Canadian. Prices are all over the place. Okay, Herb Trimpe doing the artwork. This is a guy that goes through a lot of changes in style through the years, but this is some great classic. This is another book that still has kind of a 60s feel in the early 70s because of the creative team that's on it. They're keeping it very consistent with what came before. Look at the mouth on that guy. But the Hulk battles Rhino in this one. I've been doing a pretty good job keeping up with reading these volumes as they're coming out, but the last one and this one I haven't got to yet. So I'm excited to see where this goes, because the Hulk, it feels like the Hulk finally hit its stride, not its stride, but its groove in the early 70s. This is 72 to 74. Yeah, look at this. Tiger Shark. The Hulk fights the Beast. This is when the Beast, kind of one of the earliest appearances of the Beast in his new furry outfit. But Steve Englehart was responsible for turning the Beast from human to beast-like in the pages of, what was that, Amazing Adventures? And so Steve Englehart is writing this, so why not bring this new beast that he created into the pages of the Hulk? That makes sense. Seems like the colorist is really relying a lot on the green, orange, purple combination. Look at that throughout here. It's pretty much all green, orange, and purple. There's some reds now. But look at the beast's coloring. He's not that blue. He's actually supposed to be black when he first started, but eventually he just became blue. Because I think it was supposed to be black with blue highlights, like to show the color bouncing off of his fur, but then other artists have just interpreted that as blue skin. There's the Gremlin. Gremlin from the Kremlin. It's one of the very earliest Hulk villains right there, coming back for more. More Steve Englehart and Herb Trimpe. Sal Trapani is the inker. There's a name I don't recognize. So in this one, Hulk goes under the sea. So I'm unfamiliar with this. Is this when he's shrinking small? Is that why that creature's so large? I know he goes to the micro world. It. I think It is a character from one of the more anthology magazines, like Marvel Premiere or something like that, right? Is that Zax? Yep, Zax. I remember Zax from the Hulk 90s cartoon. Anybody? Oh, Phil's correcting me here. Gremlin is the son of the gargoyle who was in Hulk #1. Of course, of course. Hawkeye pays a visit here. That's good. Good to see. All the art is so consistent here. Like you flip through the pages and it just all looks like, I mean, it is the same artist. Oh, there's MODOK. He's always good for a fun time right there. And there's the Harpy, who made a big comeback in the Immortal Hulk. Have you been reading Immortal Hulk? You should. It's been a fantastic title. Great. Great artwork. Look at that. What a wonderful page that is. I always look at those pages and I'm like, who has the original art to that hanging on their wall somewhere? Or has it been lost forever? Who knows? Boy, it looks like the Harpy plays a big role in this book. This looks like something out of the 1950s horror anthology or sci-fi anthology stories falling through the sky. Okay, let's keep on going here. Let's flip through to the end. Oh, I saw Quicksilver. There's Adam Warlock right there. Peril of the Plural Planet. Oh. Does that look like a Jim Steranko splash page or what? Gonna have to read this. I want to know what's going on here. Okay, what do we have in the way of bonus features? A crossword puzzle. The official magazine Foom, issue #1. keep on fooming. That's great. There's a lot of Hulk featured in Foom. Oh, this is Foom number 2. Hunk. Here's, speaking of Wallywood. What is this? Incredible Hulk Tales to Astonish Index from Foom number 2. This kind of stuff is the only place you could collate this kind of stuff like this if you didn't have access to the issues like we do in Epic Collections, and there's no Wikipedia. That's pretty cool that they did that. Steranko, look at that. Not as beefy, muscular on the top side as we come to know as the Hulk, but that still looks pretty cool. Some original art from Herb Trimpe. There's that image again. Okay. One more book we're going to look at today. I'll have to do Killraven another time. I was hoping to have a copy of that one here, but here we go. Spider-Man, Volume 6. Spoiler alert, the death of Captain Stacy. In case you didn't know that was going to happen in this volume. Here's a Gil Kane cover. Gil Kane does a lot of the artwork in this book. Gil Kane with Kazar. This one gets a lower price, $39.99, and then a straight 50 Canadian. They upped it 1 penny. Amazing Spider-Man 86 to 104. Can you guess where Spider-Man is based on these 2 landmark items here? That's right, London. And you want to know who prints this book? I'll tell ya. Solisco again. Here's our table of contents. Looking a little shiny again. Beware the Black Widow. This is the first appearance of the Black Widow with her new costume. This is what she looked like before. But where is she now? This is what she looks like now. This is kind of the image that has defined her look over the years. This is absolutely classic Spider-Man. Unmasked at last. There's the supporting cast at the time. Harry and MJ and Gwen and her father, Captain Stacy. With John Romita and Jim Mooney doing the artwork. Gotta love it. Very classic. I'm Spider-Man. What? Spider-Man still looks so young in these. Where did that issue? That's the page that I was just at. I don't know where it went. Yeah, right here. He still looks so young. Like he's still a kid. He's probably fresh. He's in college, I think, in these comics, right? Dr. Octopus comes to fight. Always great artists. Artists always have fun drawing all of these arms. Doc Ock lives. Classic Romita. Look at that. It's just, I love the way he draws faces. He's got these characters down. His Spider-Man is so amazing. Hey, amazing. I didn't mean that intentionally. Anyone recognize that panel right there? I think that's a swipe because that definitely came from that Ditko cover that was used in the Spider-Man animated series, the 67 series intro. Great splash page. Wow, look at that. All of those people down below there. Absolutely fantastic. Oh, this looks like Gil Kane. Let's back up just a second. Yep, Gil Kane with inking from John Romita. That's cool. So we get a little bit of consistency there, but you can already tell that Gil Kane's style. Oh, we're in the era where they put ads on half of the page. Why they didn't just take this top part and put it underneath there is beyond me. They should have just done that. I'm not sure why, but anyway, that's how they decided to do that here. Oh, there's a spoiler. Let's skip past that. Remember how I was saying that the Star Wars comics use a very specific color palette and it's a lot more muted? Well, this one is way more saturated. You can see the harsh reds and blues and like this bright yellow background here. Stuff that the Star Wars comics were not doing. Iceman guest stars in this one. There's the Prowler. He's a cool character. Great. Whoops, let's go back to that splash page here. All of the big villains at the time. Here's that cover again. Phil tells me that these two landmarks are actually several miles apart. There's no way you could put them in one picture together, but when you're an artist in comics, everything is possible. Okay, here's the famous story, I think, in this issue. The story without a comic code. This is the infamous story where we find out that Harry is addicted to drugs. And the comic code had a big deal with that, so Sam was like, you know what, we'll just do it without the comic code. So we have three. This is the Return of the Green Goblin as well. So we have 3 issues in here that don't have the comic code stamp on the front. What a rebel, right? Still Gil Kane artwork. Goblin's last gasp. Not really. He'll be back. Over and over and over. Also featuring Spidey on TV. Don't you dare miss this one, everybody. I bet it doesn't have it all like that other one we were looking at. Spider-Man number 100. This is cool that we have over 100 issues of Spider-Man in a row now in Epic Collections. So this is a very famous issue here because at the very end, he gets 6 arms. It's kind of a spoiler as well, but I don't care. You all should know this by now. Spider-Man gets the 6 arms. And what happens after that? He meets up with the first appearance of Morbius. There's a lot of great stuff in this volume here. I want to see this in a movie. Spider-Man versus Morbius and the Lizard at the same time. You know, as great as Gil Kane is, I don't think I like his art as much as I like John Romita. I mean, most people will probably say that as well, but okay, we have these last two issues with Kazar in the Savage Land. Jonah takes Peter and Gwen for some reason. I'm not exactly sure why, but Gwen spends these whole 2 issues in a bathing suit. Craven is in this one, so that's great. Bring back more Craven. I want to see Craven in a movie at one point. Okay, let's see. What do we have here? Bonus features. Covers to the king-size specials that reprint the issues that are in this book. Here is a cool one. This is an unused cover. It looks like it's the color key, so they've just used marker to indicate the colors. But it says that the unused cover on the rough on the left, and then original art on the right. Notice he doesn't have his pill bottle there. Comic Code still wasn't happy with that change, so that's when Stan was like, let's not use the Comic Code. Gil Kane's uninked pencil art, and I think you can get a really good idea of how much work the inker puts into this, because while Gil has definitely laid out where he wants the detail, not all of the blacks are filled and such. That's left for the inker to do. See how he kind of leaves a lot of that detail up for the inker to take care of. That's a lot of original art there. Oh, here's a cool sketch layout. Sometimes when you see artists credited as layouts and then the inker credited as embellisher, this is all the artist is doing here for layouts. It's very rough details and letting the inker embellish all of that artwork with all of the details. Some house ads. This one page, what does it say here? When the reprint series Marvel Tales reached Amazing Spider-Man 103 and 104, editor Roger Stern had to spread the material over 3 issues due to the then current limit of 18 story pages. As a result, Marvel Tales needed a new title page, and so Gil Kane and Mike Esposito illustrated the above to kick off the final chapter. That's cool that they included that in here. And I think at the time Spider-Ham had some backups. Cover of a previous collection, more previous collections. The Essentials, cover to Spider-Man Essentials. Spider-Man had so many other collections. Oh, I like these because this is Bruce Timm. I love Bruce Timm's art, and he does a fantastic job in sort of a Romita-esque style. Really, really nice. Mike Wieringo does some previous collection covers as well. That's always good. Lots of Mike Wieringo art. And that's it. That's our episode for today. Hope you enjoyed this look at all of these epic collections. I'm going to try and do some more of these on a regular basis. Hopefully you'll be able to join me in checking out these epic collections. If there's anything you want me to show off, let me know. Send me a message or something, and I'll try and fit that into an upcoming episode. So thanks, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I hope if you haven't checked me out on Instagram and on Twitter and on Facebook already, that you do that. Just look for Epic Marvel Podcast. And most of the people here in the comments are buddies of mine from the Epic Collection Facebook group. So if you look up Epic Collections on Facebook, you should be able to find us. Anyway, that's our show for today. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Hope you have a good one. See you next time.